1,929 days. That's how long it's been since we started this journey, and we wanted to share a bit of that journey with all of you. But the beginning of this can go all the way back to the day before Clark was born. Now, before we start, I'll just warn you, there might be some sad parts to this video, and you might just ask why we're even mentioning Clark. For one, it's kind of why we're here in the first place. It's the beginning of what brought us here today. And aside from telling our closest friends and family or some posts online we've made, we have kept a lot of things about her pretty private. People barely even knew Kathy was pregnant with Clark before she was born, and many people have no idea that we've been doing surrogacy for the last 5 years. So it's our chance to let everyone know and understand why we're here today. So here it goes. We were in the thick of COVID. My camera roll was still filled with COVID memes, social distancing pictures, and Bellamy's cooking shows to keep us busy at home. On April 5th, Kathy was 23 weeks pregnant. And aside from a worldwide pandemic, it was a normal day. I was cutting my own hair in the bathroom when Kathy started to have some stomach pains. We called 911 and she was rushed to the hospital. I couldn't even go with her in the ambulance due to COVID protocols. This was a month into the start of the pandemic, mind you. As a matter of fact, once I got to the hospital, it looked like a ghost town. I couldn't get in, I had no idea where Kathy was. It was all very, very scary. I eventually found her, but the doctors weren't really sure what was wrong. The morning later, without much prior notice at all, the nurses woke us up abruptly, and before I knew it, Kathy was rushed out of our room and had to give birth. The doctors told us Kathy lost so much blood that day that she nearly died. But here she was. Our beautiful daughter Clark was born on April 6th. I started recording a video journal to her, hoping I could one day share them with her. This is me on her birthday. This is me sleeping in my car in the hospital garage, since I wasn't allowed a room in the hospital. This is on day 2. I don't even know what I'm saying here. I can't get myself to watch most of these videos again. For the next week, we spent as much time with her as possible, feeding her, reading her books, and just spending time with her. All the while, Bellamy was still at home since the hospital didn't let him in, so we read him some books too. Soon it was Easter Sunday, and we even watched Mass with her as Father Eric said Clark a prayer during service. We went home that afternoon for a quick break. We had some visitors, and some brought gifts. Late that night, as we were getting ready for bed, we were called back to the hospital. It was serious. Clark passed early that morning. Belle never got to meet her. Neither did our parents or anyone else. We also were never able to give her a proper funeral with loved ones around to mourn her. So we wanted to share that story one last time with everyone, since Clark is as much about this surrogacy journey as anyone else. So now that our loved ones are all here today, say a quiet little prayer for her. I'm sure she would love it.
For those of you who don't know how surrogacy works, let me explain it to you. First you have IPs, intended parents. That's my mom and dad. Then you have your surrogate. We basically call a surrogate our helper who gives the baby a safe environment to grow and thrive when we are unable to do so on our own. Did you know being a surrogate is super hard to qualify for? They have to go through numerous tests and exams, get poked and prodded, and take lots and lots of meds, and have lots and lots of doctor's appointments. They are literally superheroes, so if you meet a surrogate, give them a high five. Once someone qualifies to be a surrogate, they are matched up with intended parents based on lots of preferences and personality traits. Then, if the IPs like the surrogate they are matched with, they basically have an online date on Zoom and get asked lots of hard questions and interesting questions. If they like each other after the date, then we move on. Then the surrogate has to get poked and prodded some more, and both parties work out a contract to make all of this happen. If you've gotten this far, the process up to this point may have taken almost a year. Don't forget, while all of this is happening, my parents worked very hard on making lots and lots of embryos with their IVF clinic so we can use them during our embryo transfer. So now we're ready for embryo transfer with the surrogate. We place our embryo in the belly, then wait 9 days to see if it's positive or not. And if it's positive, you wait 2 more days to see if it's positive again. And if it is, then you wait more and more and more to keep seeing if the pregnancy worked out. And here we are today. Common question is, does the surrogate have any genetic influence on the baby? The answer is nope. And here's one more important thing for you to know. Since we spent 5 years trying to give me a sibling and encountered lots of failures, we ended up having to change directions a little bit. So you may be surprised to learn that my baby sister was actually made with a donor egg. That means another superhero helper contributed to her miracle. A donor egg comes from a female donor who my parents got to pick. They were able to see her profile, understand her background, her medical history, and see some of her pictures. Fun fact, my baby sister will be 3/4 Filipino, 1/4 Italian, and most importantly, 100% loved.
Remember we said Pocky Bear was in Mommy's tummy?
Mm-hmm.
So Pocky Bear is not in Mommy's tummy anymore.
Why?
Because Pocky Bear had to come out of Mommy's tummy earlier than we thought. And now Pocky Bear's in heaven with God.
And with Dr. too?
Hmm?
And with Dr. too?
The doctor helped us with Pocky Bear, but now Pocky Bear's in heaven with God. So Pocky Bear is not going to be able to play with you. But Pocky Bear's in heaven with God and she's safe.
After Pocky Bear's dead, we're done. The Pocky Bear can play after Pocky's done.
No, Pocky Bear won't ever be able to come back. Pocky Bear is going to be with God from now on. Okay?
Later, Pocky can play with me. Later.
No, Pocky Bear can't. Pocky Bear's in heaven with God now. You know how you pray to God every night? Pocky Bear's with God now, and Pocky Bear's watching over us now, okay?
This wasn't the exact moment we knew we wanted to start this surrogacy journey, but it was definitely a moment that made us sure that we wanted to continue to grow this family and give Belle another sibling. I actually recall thinking about IVF and surrogacy the morning after Clark died. I immediately contacted my good friend Maureen, who worked at a fertility clinic, and asked her what I needed to do. This is how it all started. We again started a journal about the journey, hoping we can share this with a future baby. We even planned to share our videos with other potential intended parents or surrogates as a way to help them understand the process. It was exciting and hopeful.
Yeah. So that was what we wanted. Yay! 3 girls and 1 boy. Yay!
But boy, were we naive. We thought this would be such a fun video project that would be smooth sailing, and a year later we would have a happy ending with baby in hand. But it was far from it. There were plenty of happy moments. Meeting our wonderful surrogates for the first time, successful IVF rounds, sharing news with friends. But littered in between were mostly rough, heartbreaking times. At some point, the videos stopped. It became too much to keep doing video journals with no good news in sight. So despite more transfers, meetings, appointments, we have less and less evidence of it to share. After every transfer, it takes 9 days until you know the result. It always seemed like the longest, most agonizing 9 days of my life. After a failed transfer, it takes another 2 to 6 months before you can do another one. And when you've already done 3 or so transfers with a surrogate and it hasn't worked, the doctor recommends you work with a different surrogate. So making a new match can take anywhere between 6 months to a year. We have worked with 5 different surrogates and had 9 transfers in total over the course of 5 long years. But on January 18th, 2025, we learned that our surrogate, Veronica, was pregnant. Woo! This is Veronica. She's now 31 weeks pregnant with our baby. She has a husband named Travis and 3 adorable and energetic boys named Trevor, Carson, and Aiden. They live in Clovis, California. Veronica is studying to be a nurse, all while growing a little human in her belly. We are happy that we have a wonderful relationship with Veronica and her family, and we will be forever thankful to them for being a huge part of why we are here to celebrate today. We also want to acknowledge the many others who have been a pivotal part of this long road, including our other surrogates, our medical teams, our donor, our surrogacy agency, and so many others. Most importantly, to all our friends and family who have supported us throughout everything we've been through, we love you all. Now, let's celebrate!
I just saw the picture you sent me. I'm gonna go look at it again. It's not letting me pop up. Hold on.
You just gotta close your video screen.
I am so gonna cry. What?
Yeah. Hi. Announcement. Oh. Announcement. Yeah. 10 weeks.
No way.
Yeah.
So happy. Oh my god, that's so heavy.
What just happened?
Congratulations. Wow.
It's still early, right?
Congrats.
Yeah.